All right, this is another episode of the Founders Pack Wolfcast, and my guest today is Sasha Orloff. Did I say it right this time?
You did. You got it. Nailed
I said the non-Canadian way. Well, thanks for joining me. You are the founder and co-founder of Puzzle. So for people that don't know, who is Sasha and what is Puzzle?
Sasha is my name, and I am the founder of, co-founder and CEO of Puzzle. We're a new accounting software focused on startups. So think if Stripe and QuickBooks and OpenAI had a baby, that is Puzzle. And it really was born out of frustrations of being a founder a couple of times. I started my first company in Y Combinator, and that raised a bunch of venture capital and grew quite big. We spun out a division that got even bigger. And as we were scaling, I noticed there were three kind of problems that I really wanted to solve. And they all were stemmed around things that we just accepted about accounting that I didn't think need to be accepted. One is every department gets real-time software except the finance team. And we're dealing with data that is from a long time ago. And that doesn't help you make data-driven decisions, and really important data decisions about your money. The second is accounting is still a very manual process. And with some of the advancements in both software and generative AI, we're able to now, for the first time ever, automatically generate a draft of your financial statements with no human involvement at all. And the third is, as modern companies evolve, there are different types of business models that have evolved faster than GAAP. So in a moment of time when we just would sell a physical thing at a moment in time, traditional accounting worked really well. But as we start getting into selling software or services or usage-based or data or AI or tools or relationships or memberships, accounting doesn't really work really well, traditional accounting. And so we needed to have a modern solution to deal with the modern ways that businesses are being built.
That's very interesting. It's funny you say that because part of my life has been as a Salesforce consultant. Another part is like I have a data startup, and it feels like the data that comes out of any finance package is flat.
Yeah.
There's no relationship between any other aspect of it. And then we have these more complex data models. So is that kind of part of what you're trying to address when you say relationships?
Yeah, you're highlighting a bit of our secret insight. And one of our secret insights was there really is not a single source of truth of financial data in an organization. And the data model is really geared towards a collection of journal entries, which is sort of like a technical thing in accounting of debits and credits. It's not really structured to how we think about and want to integrate and combine financial data in how we want to run and understand financial health. And so I sort of think about it actually not too dissimilar to like what Salesforce did for sales teams. There's a single source of truth, and you can build all sorts of really cool stuff on top of it and put extra data in and really understand it. Of course, that was 25 years ago. You could build it in a more modern, flexible way. There isn't an equivalent in finance teams or for accounting teams about the money of your company. There's no equivalent in for the money of a company. And as a founder, we want more people to be able to start amazing companies and feel confident that they understand the financial health of their company. And this was an important tool to get them there, we think.
I like it. Yeah, because I think one of the, we always get requests, obviously, like for reporting. And it blows my mind how many accounting departments, like in even established companies, are using spreadsheets like coming out their ears. So I'm curious how this solves that, or if it does.
Yeah. So if we're at a high level, we'll think about it. And there's two different problems that result in this. One is 30 years ago, when the general ledgers, the accounting software was built that is still used today, were designed, you didn't have the ability to share data. And so what they would do is they bundle, I would argue mediocre software to make it easy so all the data connects. But now there's these really great finance tools out there. Think like Stripe and Mercury and Ramp and Brex and Gusto and Rippling and Deal, et cetera, et cetera. And they're kind of in conflict with the native tools of the legacy accounting software. And so you're doing a bunch of stuff in spreadsheets because you're trying to get data from one place to another and it doesn't really work.
It's
So that's why
crazy. It's so funny
yeah.
you're saying that. I'm laughing, but that's like, it's so
Right. The
painful
skill of
moving the
if
data.
you were an accounting team or a finance
Right.
team and you need to learn how to code, that's not a problem with you. It's a problem with the software, right? That was the first insight. The second one is that there's two types of accounting, but I'll keep it really high. One is called cash basis accounting, which means you just record stuff when it happened. So if you bought a computer today, you would just record that $2,000 or $3,000 as a computer expense today. There's another one called accrual accounting, which means you move it over the time period in which you're using that thing. So you would move it to the balance sheet as an asset, because obviously you can sell the computer if you don't use it, but you're going to use it over 3 years. So your computer expense is really that amount divided by, say, 36, if you were to fully depreciate it. So there's these two types of accounting. Cash accounting is for small businesses. Accrual accounting is for people that have investors like venture capitalists or shareholders or partners, or they achieve a certain level of revenue from the IRS. There is not a native accrual accounting system that hasn't existed, which means you're building spreadsheets like you just brought out, and you're like taking that computer and you're saying, Michael's computer, and you literally every month you calculate. And then the next line would be Sasha's computer, and every month you divide by it, and you keep this all what's called your schedules, your depreciation and amortization schedules in Excel. And then you, with your fingers, you type it into your old legacy accounting software. And so we're not saying that spreadsheets aren't gonna, like, we're gonna solve all the magic of spreadsheets, but the parts about accounting and the automation of accounting can be done by building these native schedules inside of the system, still giving you the ability to output so you can see and make your own metrics and reports and dashboards however you want, either with spreadsheets or with our API. But the actual work of accounting shouldn't need to live in a spreadsheet. It's crazy. It's just logic and code.
Crazy. Yeah, it's when you started talking about it, I was like, wait, this is like craziness. I always say this, like, makes no sense. Like, accounting departments are full of spreadsheet jockeys. Like, it's the most insane thing. And then what's the solution? Oh, a company like Smartsheet comes along and goes, no, we have a better spreadsheet. Like,
yeah. But also, if you think about it, it has two other problems. One, if you need to understand why that thing happened, you need to find that one particular accountant that has that one spreadsheet in their one computer. Maybe they use like a Smartsheet or a Google Sheets, but they have access to it. They know how it's labeled. And what if they like left the company and you're getting audited for like last year or after, or they've just quit or fired or, you know, whatever else, you're at risk. And the second is because you're doing calculations in Excel and then you're typing them manually into your accounting software, you're at risk of just error. Like, it's just error prone. There's more accidents, even unintentional. Like, it's not that people are trying to mess it up, but it's not like you're sitting there faking. You're doing this and you get a Slack ding and you get a text message and your kid calls you and your boss calls you and this other thing happens and you get an important email. It's not like you're just natively doing this. Software solves this so much better.
I love it. Yeah, it's interesting. We were talking before, like, I've been working on ops as a startup, which is like based on pain, right? It's the pain of moving spreadsheets all over the place for marketing and sales. You know, like, you've got this concept of the customer in cold outreach, in marketing automation, in CRM, in finance. And you're like, well, why am I downloading CSVs, reformatting them, and so that this software will accept it? So I love what you're doing. That's actually really interesting when you start talking about it. Like, I'm sure I hope others do, but
if you think about it, right, you're attacking one of the three really important parts and like kind of not accounting assets, but like assets of a business. You have your employees. That's you and me and the teams that we work with. You have your customers, which is what you were just talking about, and your money. And there's no system that tracks your money. That's crazy. And so we give you a real-time system to track your money, and then all the permutations, so that even later, if you wanted to like combine it or merge it with like what you're building, so you want to see like, how are my ops and my marketing things attached to my money, and what are the impacts of these things? It's easier because you can just merge these systems, because it's really, we rethought of it as a data problem, not really like a core accounting problem.
That makes total sense to me. I hope other people understand. I'm sure they do. Well, I want to be conscious of your time. First of all, you know, if you could offer other founders only one piece of advice, what would that be?
Well, if you're an existing founder, the one piece of advice, Well, I mean, obviously it's use puzzle.io. That's the obvious one. I think right now, if you're listening right now in like December, January, February, the one more piece of advice is you have to file taxes. Every company, every incorporation, even if you don't have revenue, even if you don't have profit, you still have to file taxes. In January 31st, you have to file your 1099s. March 1st, Delaware franchise if you're a C Corp, April 15th, state and federal taxes. And if that feels overwhelming to you, one, we can help, but two, you can also extend it to October 15th. But those dates are really important for everybody, whether you like it or not, because the IRS doesn't forget.
Interesting. That's good to know. What have the roles of partnerships and or community been in your success so far?
I think community and partnerships is one of the reasons why we've been growing so fast. And it's one of, I think, the key reasons it resonates with founders is one, it's built for founders by founders. And so we get it and it's built for us. Two, there is not accounting software that is built native to the tools that a lot of companies use today. Stripe, Mercury, Brex, Ramp, Gusto, Rippling. We are built native to the tools you want. That requires partnership and collaboration with these companies. And they have been amazing at helping us realize this vision of real-time automated sort of generative accounting. And so that's really helpful. And we've been growing double-digit month on month since we launched, completely from word of mouth of founders saying, I can't believe this never happened. I never thought about accounting. That's just not a thing that's top of my mind. And you see the product and you just want to tell your friends because it's so much better. And so we think the other main driver aside from partnerships has been the community of founders across Twitter and WhatsApp group and Slack groups that have been just our advocates on our behalf, which has been amazing. It's the new world of marketing and distribution.
Love it. That is great to hear. It's an excellent example. What is the best way for people to get in touch with you, and what type of person do you want to talk to?
I am here to want to help founders achieve their vision and build the best businesses they can. So I am at Sasha@puzzle.io. I'm on Twitter. I'm on LinkedIn. And the one thing is, if you try it and use it, I want feedback. How can we get better? What else can we build for you? We have a whole team that this is why we're here to build it. And so the worst thing would be to try to not give feedback because we want to fix it and make it the best solution for you.
I love it. I've been going through that myself, so I understand totally the value as having people that are willing to give you feedback on how to fix stuff. All right. Well, first of all, I want to thank you for spending so much time with me. I'm really excited to follow the journey of Puzzle. The final thing is, when we have someone that's interesting on the podcast, we actually like you to nominate another person. We typically talk to either founders of scalable ventures or investors. So who would you, Sasha, like to nominate as a future guest of the Founders Pack Wolfcast?
I think in the realm of founders, there is Jason Mock has just joined Brex as the GM of startups, and he focuses on founders. He is amazing. And I think he's just an incredible advocate for our industry.
Awesome. Okay, so it's Jason Mock from Brex. You've been nominated as a future guest. Sasha, thank you so much for spending time with me. Look forward to following your journey.
Thank you.
One.